welcome to Davar Word. It is my pleasure to share with you what I have discovered in my walk so that we can learn and grow together. Psalms chapter 19 verse 2 says, Hashamayim mesaperim kevod el umaase yadav magid harakia. The heavens declare the glory of God, and the sky shows His handiwork. The heavens or Shamayim ends with ayim. This is the typical dual ending in Hebrew, such as yadayim or two hands. Some interpret this to mean that the heavens are twofold, both spiritual and physical, or upper and lower heavens, which are the heavens we see and the heavens beyond. The heavens have their first mention in Genesis chapter 1 verse 1. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. Shamayim, which is plural, is paired with aretz, earth, to represent the totality of creation. Together, they symbolize the spiritual realm, which is outside space and time, and also the material realm, which is subject to space and time. The gematria of Shamayim is 390. How do we get 390? 390 is 39 times 10. Some commentaries link this number to the 39 categories of work or malakot that is prohibited on Shabbat times completeness, which is 10. Shabbat is the ceasing of work, which can sometimes be seen as a taste of heaven. Shamayim can also be read as Shem Mayim, which is name and waters. This suggests that the heavens carry God's name upon the waters. Shamayim can also be read as Sham Mayim, or water there. These two possible readings of the same word reflects Romans chapter 10 verse 17, which says, So then, faith comes by hearing, and hearing by the word of God. Shem, or name, speaks of the essence or identity of God. Shamayim, or the heavens, demonstrates the transcendent realm of God. When the two possible readings intersect, it tells us that the heavens is the place of the name, and this is God's transcendent reality revealed in creation. The word Shamayim can consist of Esh and Mayim. Ash is fire and Mayim is water, demonstrating judgment and mercy both come from the heavens. Ash Mayim shows that there is fire and water present. Perhaps the heavens are made from the paradoxical union of ash, fire, and Mayim, water. Normally, fire and water cannot coexist. One will destroy the other. But in the heavens, God makes peace between them, uniting both opposites in perfect harmony. The heavens are the perfect union of opposites, fire and water dwelling together in peace, sustained only by God's will. The seventh plague that struck Egypt was the miraculous combination of fire and hail while sparing the land of Goshen. Exodus chapter 9 verse 24 states that the hail fell very severely, with fire flashing up amidst the hail. God judged the earth once with water during the global flood of Noah. Water was sent as judgment during Noah's flood, but God gave a promise in the sign of a rainbow that He would never again send water as judgment. Water became a life-giving, life-sustaining essential. There is balance and harmony in water and fire. In Revelation, He says He will judge with fire this time. Revelations chapter 16 verse 21 states that there was enormous hail, about 100 pounds each, falling from heaven on the people, and the people cursed God because of the plague of hail. So extreme was that plague. We know that Shamayim can be split into two words, Esh and Mayim, fire and water. Perhaps God's heaven is made of fire and water. What do we think about when we talk about the throne of God? Do we think of a golden chair? Genesis chapter 2 verses 10 to 14 says that out of the throne of God there was a river watering the garden which flowed from Eden, and from there it was separated into 4 headwaters. Ezekiel chapter 47 verse 12 states that there is water flowing from the sanctuary. Psalms chapter 46 verse 5 mentions a river whose streams make glad the city of God. Prophet Zechariah reminds us in chapter 14 verse 8 that living water will flow out from Jerusalem in the future. 1 Chronicles chapter 29 verse 23, Solomon sat on the throne of the Lord. Hebrews chapter 4 verse 16 invites us to approach God's throne of grace with confidence so that we may receive mercy and find grace to help us in our time of need. Revelations chapter 4 verses 2 to 6 describe that in front of God's throne there was something that looked like a sea of glass, clear as crystal. Revelations chapter 22 verse 1 reveals that the angel showed Elder John the river of the water of life, as clear as crystal, flowing from the throne of God and of the Lamb. From these verses, it seems to be that water flows from Eden, water flows from God's throne, and water flows from God's sanctuary. Perhaps the Garden of Eden was actually the throne of God. Many have tried to locate the Garden of Eden but failed to do so. Perhaps it is an invisible realm, a spiritual realm that we all cannot see. Adam and Eve were perhaps walking in the Garden of Delights, in the throne room of God, even dwelling at His throne. Who knows that perhaps His throne is not a golden chair, but a garden. The kaporet, or the cover of the Ark of the Covenant, is also known as the throne of God. The golden lid of the Ark is where God's presence dwells, between the 2 cherubim. That is the throne of God, not a golden chair. There are 7 levels of heaven. From the earth, there is the vilon, which is something like a covering or a curtain. It spreads out by day and rolls up at night. Isaiah chapter 40 verse 22. The rakia is mentioned in Genesis chapter 1 verse 17. It is translated as the firmament or the skies. The rakia is where the sun, moon, stars, and planets are set. God made the rakia and set the luminaries in it to shine on the land. The shekakim is the next layer of the heavens. It is translated as skies or clouds. Psalms chapter 78 verse 24 poetically recounts to us that the shekakim is where millstones grind manna for the righteous. In 2 Corinthians chapter 12 verse 2, Rav Shaul tells us that he knew a man in Messiah who 14 years ago, whether in the body or whether out of the body, he did not know, but God knows. Such a one was caught up to the 3rd heaven. Perhaps he was referring to this level of the heavens. The next layer of the heavens, called the Zevul, is mentioned in Isaiah chapter 63 verse 15 and 1 Kings chapter 8 verse 13. It is commonly translated as the dwelling. Perhaps it is the dwelling place of the heavenly temple and altar. Then there is the Ma'on, or the habitation. Deuteronomy chapter 26 verse 15 appeals to God to look down from His holy Ma'on, His holy dwelling place, from the heavens and bless His people Israel and the soil He has given them, as He swore to their fathers, a land flowing with milk and honey. Another layer called the Makon means establishment or foundation. In this layer is found the storehouses of snow, rain, hail, storms, and the dews of blessing and curse. Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 12 and 1 Kings chapter 8 verse 39. And lastly, there is the Aravot, which is translated plains or deserts. This might be the highest layer of the heavens. This is the place where the righteousness, justice, peace, blessing, and all the treasures of life can be found. This is the place of the throne of glory, where the highest of angels, the seraphim, the ophanim, the chayot, and the souls of the righteous dwell here, according to Psalms chapter 68, verse 5. The heavens remind us of God's greatness and majesty. They declare His glory, reveal His order, and invite us to lift our eyes beyond the temporary to the eternal. When we look up, we are reminded that the Creator is not only vast and powerful, but also near and personal. May the heavens continually stir our hearts to worship, to trust His purposes, and to live with hope, knowing that the one who set the stars in place also guides our lives with care. Well, I hope that you have enjoyed our time together. Thank you for joining me. I pray that this message inspires and challenges you. God bless you and your family. Shalom.